this was a topic that they were talking about a little bit yesterday, and I wanted to go over it because I think there's a lot of misconceptions about the way the NBA is played. And Kevin Durant was just on the thing on Twitter with fans talking about the FIBA rules. I'll get to that in a second. I want to handle this part of the topic first, right? The international game for basketball is based around this idea of teamwork. And in the NBA, it's based around this idea of a hierarchy, right? Even Dwayne Wade was commenting on it about the fact that these teams, these international teams, they are running their sets, whether they're down, they're up, third quarter, fourth, it doesn't really matter, right? They just run their shit. As opposed to, and they like to frame it like this, as opposed to the NBA where they just like to give the ball to their best player. Now, I think there's some people that see the NBA game as this super individualistic thing, right? It's about the individual, da-da-da-da-da. But fail to realize that the teams that win championships are unbelievable teams with great systems, with players that know their roles, that they're stars in their roles. So, actually, throughout the history of the NBA, the best team has always been the team that was not only talented, but also exhibited the best teamwork. But everyone wants to ignore that, right? Because in the NBA, guys are so talented, they're scoring 30, 40, 50 points a game, as opposed to international basketball, which, by the way, in case you didn't know this, 2 minutes shorter a quarter. Obviously, they score a little bit less. But anyway, I watched with my own two eyes Serbia against the United States, when they were trying to make a little bit of a run, go 3 minutes without Jokic touching the ball. I saw the same thing with France. After Wemby was cooking, minutes go by and he's not touching the ball. So, the same people that want to say, oh, the international game is all about teamwork, you're going to start excluding your best player from the offense? For what? For what? Do you understand the concept of a double team? You know, teams only double team a player when they're good, right? And when that happens, that means someone else is open so that they can go and fucking make a play. Jokic is far from an individual one-on-one type of player. But what happens down the stretch of games in Denver? It's a 1-5 pick and roll for 5 fucking minutes straight. And it's not about Jokic got to shoot every time, Jamal got to shoot every time. It's not about that. It's about letting your best players make plays. Obviously, we get on players when they start shooting too much. Obviously. But to act as if there is no teamwork in the NBA, it's mind-blowing to me. It's mind-blowing. At no point in time should your best player, and this is the part that people forget, right? You're not the best player on the team and all of you guys work the same amount of time. You're the best player on the team because you work fucking harder than everybody else. Let's just call it what it is. You're in the gym longer. You're spending more time. You're getting up more shots. You're probably in better shape. That's why you're the best player on the team. Now, to expect someone that doesn't put in as much work as that person to get up as many shots when the game is tight, you got to be out your fucking mind. And look, when you watch Denver, nobody got a fucking problem with it. Michael Porter will get his shots. Aaron Gordon will get his shots. But it comes off of their two best players. You know why? Because those two guys probably bust their ass in practice every day. Well, I'll give it to you, big dog. You got this. But this misconception that there's no teamwork in the, like, it baffles me. It baffles me. And the irony in it is the person that has the ball probably in his hands the most in the NBA currently is a European guy. It's Luka. And we want to talk about passing and yes, he gets a lot of assists. Yes. It's great. But that means his other guys aren't getting as much assists either. Like, they're not getting their stats. Part of the sharing, no? But everybody just wants to tunnel vision and look at this shit a certain way. The Boston Celtics played phenomenal team basketball. Phenomenal. Everybody touching the ball. Everybody's doing their thing. Different players get shine at different times. Like, that's how the game is supposed to be played. But what happened? Down the stretch, there was a Jayson Tatum was getting ISOs, or he was getting pick and rolls with either Derek White or Drew Holiday, and the ball was in his hands. He didn't shoot it every time. He made the right play. Because he can cause a double like, are these guys fucking faded though? Like, every single day I'm like, you motherfuckers online are stupid. Now, I want to quickly talk about some of the FIBA rules, because there's some people that talk about, oh, you got to adopt the FIBA rules. I don't totally agree with that. What I could get behind though, and I could get behind the 10-minute quarters. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like the pace of the game, especially because they've implemented these the reviews. I hate the reviews because it just adds time. It's supposed to shorten the game, but it adds time. So taking 2 minutes out of each quarter, I think, would go a long way. You can start games at the same time, which is like, 7, 8 o'clock if you're on the East Coast. But now, those West Coast games, they're not going to end at 12:30 Eastern. They'll end at like 11:30, 12. I think it's much, much better. I think the pace of the game will be a little bit faster. The minutes are going to be more valuable, because what's going to happen is you don't get the extra time to just fucking lollygag. You have to be in it. Now, excuse me. Now, the issue with that is guys aren't going to get their numbers like they're used to. So I think that's a big reason as to why they're not going to implement it. But yeah, I think the 10-minute quarter would be good, man. Especially everybody got these short ass attention spans nowadays. I think it would actually go a long way.